NowThatsTV dropped an announcement on Tuesday that landed like a bomb in the reality TV space. They're launching a brand new show called Girls Will Be Girls, Act 1, and the cast reads like a direct raid on Zeus's roster, featured prominently. Three of the network's most recognizable names from the Baddies franchise, Tesehki, MariahLynn, and Ivori. By day's end, Zeus CEO Lemuel Plummer was on his Instagram story, and he was not happy about it. He didn't just shade the move, he attacked the deal, questioned the girl's value, and threw down threats about contractual violations. This exploded into a full public back and forth that split the internet and raised real questions about loyalty, money, and who actually owns these women's careers. It's playing out in real time, and it's messy. NowThatsTV's caption was casual. Surprise. Wall see this cast coming. A brand new show with the girls y'all KNOW and LOVE to watch is coming to NowThatsTV. They hyped it as exactly what it looked like, a fresh show featuring established names from another network. The post worked. It got attention. It got shares. It did exactly what an announcement is supposed to do. Then, Lemuel Plummer woke up and decided it was time to remind everyone who he thinks built these women's brands. His first story hit different. He went after the cast's current value. I guess when one baddie is no longer the heaviest hitter and another has tens of thousands of people signing petitions demanding she stay off the show, they both realize their value has diminished and run to the knockoff Tubi/Temu brand. That's not subtle shade. That's a direct play at relevance. He's saying these women's stock has fallen. He's comparing NowThatsTV to discount platforms. He's implying they're desperate. Then came the real shot. We already know they don't have Zeus budgets, so y'all must be accepting EBT payments or something. But he wasn't done. The follow-up escalated it to a legal threat. Anyway, contractual breaches are very real, and we will vigorously enforce every right and remedy afforded to us under the respective agreements they signed. That language is corporate. That's lawyer speak. That's a promise that Zeus is willing to take legal action if these women violated their deals. Then he went even harder. His team claimed they'd spoken to the baddies and said, NowThatsTV didn't even have real signed agreements with them. According to Lemuel, the network only offered $10K, $15K to experience gang violence lol. He was straight up mocking the entire deal and the value of it. Here's what's important. Nobody initially confirmed which cast members Lemuel was specifically targeting. The announcement featured Tesehki, MariahLynn, and Ivori, but Lemuel didn't name names in his initial posts. That's a classic move, throw shade broadly and let people figure it out themselves. This isn't just about three women changing networks. This is about power dynamics in the creator economy and reality TV. These women built their brands on Zeus platforms. They accumulated followers, fans, and relevance through Baddies content. Now they're allegedly taking that brand equity elsewhere. Lemuel's response shows exactly how uncomfortable network executives get when talent tries to monetize their own value independently. The timing is also sharp. Back in April 2026, Lemuel teased a possible collaboration between Zeus and NowThatsTV. That wasn't presented as a threat, it was presented as a partnership. The idea was they'd work together. What actually happened looks different. Zeus women jumped to NowThatsTV without Zeus's blessing. Also consider, MariahLynn has been facing heat. Viewers have been vocal about not wanting her on shows. Tesehki's stock did drop after her fight with Big Lex. These aren't unfounded criticisms from Lemuel. They're just being weaponized. He's using the audience's own complaints against them. He's saying, see, even the fans don't want you. That's why you're running to a smaller network. MariahLynn came back swinging. She posted about knowing her worth and recognizing when it's time to leave a table. One thing about knowing your worth. You also gotta know when it's time to take your value somewhere. It's actually VLUED. So while y'all are counting pockets, petitions, and networks, I'm counting new beginnings. Never be scared to leave a table that stopped serving you, especially when I brought plenty to it. That's a direct counter to Lemuel's diminished value argument. She's saying she's choosing to leave, not running away. She's saying Zeus stopped valuing her, so why stay? Lemuel responded with a song lyric callback to her own music. Once upon a time not long ago, like today, we're looking to cast a Newportless blonde-haired blue-eyed baddie. It's petty. It's a reference to her track, Once Upon a Time. It's also dismissive. He's essentially saying Zeus can replace her easily. MariahLynn fired back twice more. First, no pennies were exchanged. That's referencing financial dealings and suggesting no money changed hands for whatever agreement exists. Second, can't scream breach when you breached first. That's a direct legal counter. Ivori went live on Instagram and addressed Lemuel directly. But smartly, she said, "Lemmy, I hope you're not talking about me. I pray you're not talking about me. I'm still coming to the reunion. I'm still gonna perform. I'm still gonna beat every B asterisk 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 H that I need to beat up." Then she explained her actual position. She's not signed to an exclusive contract with either network. She works where the money is. She'll perform at the Zeus reunion. She'll work with NowThatsTV. She's not picking sides. Because neither side owns her exclusively. That's the clearest statement in this entire situation. She's saying, "I'm a freelancer. Treat me like one." Diamond the Body, who wasn't even part of the announcement, chimed in anyway with her take. People shouldn't be penalized for going elsewhere and getting paid. She's saying the women have a right to work where they want. The comments section under the Shade Room's post revealed exactly how divided fans are. Some sided with Lemuel's money argument. One user wrote, "Guys, the difference is Ivori. Started on NTTV, then came to Zeus. Upgrade. He throw in shade. Tesehki and Mariah. Started Baddies, now they go into NTTV. That's a downgrade ya." This user's logic. If you're moving to a smaller, weaker network, you're taking a step backward financially and in terms of platform. Others sided with the women's freedom argument. One user, "They don't know they gonna get a whooped over there now that TV is the projects." That's just entertainment level shade, but the point underneath is that Zeus might have the better platform anyway. Then came direct shots at Lemuel's energy. "I'm definitely on Ivori timing, speak directly, 'cause don't be speaking on me 'cause we good, right? I thought so, we good." This is praising Ivori for demanding direct communication instead of being talked about. Another, "Lemmy, so par our SSD, leave them girls alone. Tryna hold them hostage." That's accusing Lemuel of trying to control these women's careers. Another user referenced Lemuel's previous criticisms. "I'm believing more and more every day. Lemmy is behind the mess on Baddies like the girls say, 'cause he ate Mariah up with that lil line." This person thinks Lemuel creates drama on his own shows to manipulate storylines. Some defended the women's right to move. One user pointed out the hypocrisy. "But it's cool for him to take NTTV casts. That's saying Lemuel recruits from NowThatsTV all the time, so why can't these women go the other direction?" Even the comedic burns were telling. "TB gang violence. WTF is Baddies then?" Someone sarcastically calling out that Lemuel's characterization of NowThatsTV as violent territory doesn't make sense when Baddies is literally built on physical fights and conflict. One user noted Tesehki's silence. "See how Tesehki ain't even respond. Very much boss behavior, Sibao behavior, cry apt it Lyle man behavior." The interpretation here is that Tesehki's silence is more powerful than any response. She's not dignifying it. That's positioning her as above the drama. The split is clear. Some people think women shouldn't jump from one network to another because it looks like a downgrade and suggests disloyalty. Others think women have the right to work wherever they want and shouldn't be held hostage by any network, no matter who built their brand. Tesehki was legitimately one of the heaviest hitters on Baddies. Her fights got views. Her scenes drove conversation. Then she had a major altercation with Big Lex. That fight didn't just create drama, it seemed to affect how fans and possibly Zeus viewed her. After that incident, there's a noticeable shift in her presence on the platform. Lemuel's claim that she's no longer the heaviest hitter is actually grounded in observable changes in fan sentiment and airtime allocation. MariahLynn's situation is different. She's faced consistent backlash from viewers for her behavior on the show. Lemuel referenced petitions demanding she be removed. That's not made up. That actually happened. But here's the thing. Viewers being upset with someone doesn't automatically mean that person's career value is destroyed. It can mean people want to keep watching to see what happens with her. It can also mean a different platform sees an opportunity. Ivori's move is actually the least controversial when you think about it. She didn't start at Baddies. She came from NowThatsTV. So her going back to NowThatsTV isn't a defection, it's a return. That contextualizes her response perfectly. She's not betraying Zeus. she's going home. The April 2026 teaser about possible Zeus/NowThatsTV collaboration is crucial because it shows these conversations were already happening at the executive level. What seems to have happened is that Zeus and NowThatsTV discussed working together, but instead of it being a tight partnership, it turned into individual women making their own deals. That would explain why Lemuel is upset. He probably thought there was a structural agreement, and instead individual cast members just signed on. What we know, 3 Zeus Baddies cast members are announced for a NowThatsTV project. What's disputed? Whether they have actual signed agreements, how much money is involved, whether contractual breaches occurred, and who breached first, if anyone did. What remains unconfirmed, whether Lemuel's threat of legal enforcement is real or posturing. No lawsuit has been filed yet. Desist letters have been made public. His team says they spoke with the Baddies, but that could mean direct conversation or indirect communication. Also unconfirmed, Tesehiki's position. She hasn't responded publicly. Everyone else, MariahLynn, Ivori, Diamond, has addressed it. Tesehki's silence is notable and reads as either confidence or strategy. The contract situation is messy. Ivori explicitly says she's not under an exclusive agreement with either network. If that's true, then Lemuel's breach argument has no teeth. You can't breach a contract that doesn't exist or doesn't grant exclusivity. MariahLynn's counter that you breached first suggests she believes Zeus violated something first. Option 1. Lemuel follows through on legal threats. That would likely mean cease and desist letters, possibly injunctions, and actual litigation. If he does this, the case would hinge on what these contracts actually say, and whether they grant exclusivity. Option 2. Nobody follows through legally, and this becomes a permanent rift. Zeus and NowThatsTV stop collaborating. More cast members potentially defect over time. The networks treat each other as direct competitors instead of potential partners. Option 3. Something gets negotiated behind the scenes. Maybe Zeus gets a financial cut. Maybe the women appear at both Zeus and NowThatsTV events. Maybe there's a settlement that keeps this out of court. The big open question, does this hurt these women's careers, or does it prove their value transcends any single network? If girls will be girls, Act 1 succeeds, it sends a message that Zeus's platforms aren't the only ones that matter. If it fails, Lemuel gets to say he was right. Also unresolved. Will other Zeus cast members get tempted to do the same thing? If MariahLynn, Ivori, and Tesehki get paid and the show works